It was the coldest day of the year. Snowflakes danced in the bitter wind, and the streets were coated in white ice. Maya tightened her worn, second-hand coat around her thin frame, her breath forming small clouds in the air. She was just trying to get home after school. But that's when it happened. Laughter, footsteps, shadows. 3 girls stepped out from behind the brick wall near the park entrance. The kind of girls who looked like they were born to hurt people. And before she could even react, hands grabbed at her coat. It was torn from her shoulders in seconds, leaving her standing in the freezing air in nothing but her sweater. She gasped as the wind bit into her skin. The girls laughed, loud, cruel, heartless. Everyone walking by pretended not to see. But what happened next, no one could have predicted. Because Maya wasn't going to let this go. Not this time. Maya had always been the quiet girl in class. The one who sat near the window, never raised her hand, and kept her head down. It wasn't because she didn't have anything to say. It was because every time she spoke, someone found a way to make her feel small. Her mother worked long shifts at the diner, sometimes coming home past midnight with sore feet and tired eyes. Her father wasn't around. Maya never talked about him. Her coat was a gift from her mom, not new, not pretty, but warm. It had patches at the elbows, a missing button, and a faint smell of diner coffee that wouldn't wash out. To Maya, it was a shield. In the harsh winter, it was more than clothing. It was comfort. The bullies didn't see it that way. Chloe, Harper, and Jess had made a sport out of tormenting her. They wore expensive parkas with fur-lined hoods and boots that looked like they came straight from a magazine cover. To them, Maya's patched coat was a joke. And on that freezing afternoon, as the sky turned gray, they decided to make her the punchline. "Maya, nice coat!" Chloe sneered as she blocked Maya's path. The sarcasm dripped from her voice like poison. Before Maya could respond, Harper yanked the zipper down, and Jess pulled it from her arms. The wind slammed into Maya's body like ice water. She grabbed at the coat, but Chloe shoved her backward into the snowbank. They laughed. That ugly, high-pitched laughter that made Maya's ears burn with humiliation. For a moment she froze, not from the cold but from the same fear she'd felt every time she'd been bullied. But this time something snapped. Her mother's words echoed in her head. "People will take from you if you let them, Maya. But sometimes you have to stand up even if your hands shake." Her hands did shake. Her heart pounded like a war drum. But Maya stepped forward. The girls were still laughing when she grabbed her coat from Jess's hand. Jess tightened her grip, but Maya twisted her wrist sharply, a move she'd learned in self-defense classes at the community center. Classes she never told anyone about. Jess cried out in shock, releasing the coat. "Whoa, what the?" Chloe started but didn't finish, because Maya stepped into her space, her voice low, steady, and cutting through the cold Z. "Touch me again, and see what happens." Something in her eyes made the girls stop laughing, something they hadn't seen before. Strength. She didn't run. She didn't cry. She pulled her coat back on, buttoned it slowly, and walked away, leaving 3 stunned bullies standing in the snow. The incident spread through school like wildfire. By the next morning, everyone had heard some version of the story. Maya snapped Jess's wrist. Maya flipped Chloe onto the ground. Maya went full ninja on them. The truth was less dramatic, but far more powerful. Maya hadn't needed to hurt anyone to make her point. She just stopped being afraid. In the cafeteria, whispers followed her. Some students smiled at her now. A few even nodded respectfully. The bullies, however, didn't take it well. At lunch, Chloe tried to bump her shoulder as she walked past. Maya didn't move. The bump landed hard, but Maya didn't flinch. "Careful," she said quietly, not loud enough for everyone to hear, but just enough for Chloe to understand. The power shift was subtle but real. Over the next few days, something strange happened. Other kids who had been targets of bullying started sitting closer to Maya. At first, she didn't understand why. But then she realized standing up for herself had given others courage too. One afternoon, as she packed her books, a younger girl named Lily approached her. She looked nervous. Maya, thanks for what you did. They used to mess with me too." Maya smiled. She didn't think of herself as a hero. But she knew one thing: she would never let anyone strip her dignity away again. Not her coat, not her confidence, not her worth. Winter still bit at her cheeks when she walked home that day. Snow still crunched under her boots. But she felt warmer than she ever had before. Not because of her coat, but because she finally wore her strength on the outside, and no one could take that away.